In a peaceful African village surrounded by green fields and ancient trees lived a young girl named Ammara. She was known across the village not for wealth or fine clothes, but for her inner light. Her kindness was effortless, her beauty natural, and her spirit unshakable. People admired her, elders blessed her, and even the wind seemed to pause to listen when she sang at the riverbank. But not everyone loved Ammara. In her own home, darkness brewed. Her stepmother, a bitter woman with a heart full of jealousy, resented Ammara. The more people praised the girl, the deeper the stepmother's envy grew. She wanted her own daughter, spoiled, selfish, and vain, to be admired. But no one even noticed her when Ammara was near. So one day, in a cruel burst of malice, the stepmother called Ammara outside. Without warning, in front of neighbors and strangers alike, she shaved off Ammara's beautiful hair, once long, thick, and flowing like night. "Let's see if anyone will call you pretty now," she spat, throwing the shears aside. Ammara stood still, her eyes wide with shock. Her heart cracked, but it did not break. She bowed her head and walked away, her pride bruised but not broken. In the following days, villagers whispered. Some pitied her, others laughed, but Ammara said nothing. She woke early, cleaned, cooked, helped elders, sang. The hair was gone, but her soul was untouched. 1 week later, the village buzzed with news. A young prince was visiting. Curious about simple village life, he arrived without fanfare, walking through the market in plain clothes. As he wandered, he heard a voice, gentle, rich, and soulful, floating from behind a house. Drawn to the sound, he followed it and saw Ammara, bareheaded, dusty from sweeping, and yet glowing with dignity. The prince paused, mesmerized. "Who is she?" he asked a passerby. "That's the stepdaughter of Madame Olamide," came the answer. "Her stepmother cut her hair out of jealousy." The prince frowned. He approached Ammara and with kindness in his voice said, "You sing beautifully." Ammara smiled politely but kept her distance. Later that evening, the prince was invited to a grand dinner at Madame Olamide's home. There, the stepmother dressed her own daughter in jewels and silk, pushing her forward with forced laughter. "This is my daughter," she said. "She's the most graceful girl in the village." But the prince only looked at Ammara, standing quietly in the corner. "Why isn't she sitting with us?" he asked. The stepmother replied, "Oh, she's just a servant, not suited for royal company." The prince's eyes narrowed. Something didn't feel right. That night, he spoke to the village elders. He asked about Ammara, and the truth poured out. How she'd been mistreated, yet never once disrespected anyone. How she helped without being asked. How she kept her head high, even after humiliation. The prince was moved. He returned the next day with gifts, not for the stepmother or her daughter, but for Ammara. The stepmother's face turned red with anger. "You'd pick a girl with no hair over my beautiful child?" The prince answered simply, "Hair grows back, character stays." The village erupted with joy. Songs were sung, drums were beaten. Ammara was welcomed into the royal family, her kindness rewarded at last. As time passed, her hair returned, even more radiant than before. But she never let the crown or palace change her. She remembered the days of pain and shame and used her new voice to protect other girls from cruelty. The stepmother and her daughter, left behind, swallowed by bitterness and shame. But some say the stepmother still walks the village, hiding her face. And as for Ammara, her story became a tale mothers told their children before bed. A tale about patience, about silent strength, and about how true beauty never fades, no matter how much someone tries to cut it away. Moral of the story: kindness is more powerful than cruelty. True beauty is not in the face, but in the heart. And envy may shout, but in the end, it is grace that is heard.